Hey, and welcome to today's episode. It is Transit Day. I'm super excited to be joined with the amazing Yvette Mayer. Welcome to the podcast.
It's great to be back. Always a favorite time of the month, exploring the transits.
I'm super pumped and excited to get into it. I feel like I've had such a massive shift in the last 2 weeks. I think it's even just been a week, but I feel like in the last week, the rubber's hit the road. My energy's been opened up. Shit's been really
Mm,
good. And I mean, last month was in my community, we've talked so much about how we've all been like, as the Zen Buddhists would say, chopping wood and carrying water. There's been a lot of that
mm,
going on. And now I feel like it's
mm.
starting to, the rubber's hitting the road now. So, yeah, let's talk transits.
I think that makes a lot of sense. So, what you're describing to me is the fact that we've been from mid-month in sacral energy. That's where we've come from. So, this like higher energy, doing the work is very reflective. So the last couple of gates, I know gate 3, which really in the high frequency is about innovation, which is play and creativity, is where we've been. So it feels very aligned with what you're saying. Uh, and then where we're going to is a new quarter and a concentrated throat center phase. So
Mm,
very making it happen, like turning the thinking and the goals into manifestations.
mm.
So I think it feels, yeah, as usual, feels very synced up. So how does that land for you when you explore the last couple of weeks of April? Has your creativity been alive?
Yeah, 100%. Like, easy answer. So many things that we have been talking about, or um, like even just little insights that have dropped in the last 2 weeks. Everything's just, we just hit the go button. There's been
Mm,
Human Design Unhinged launched. Literally, we had our first discussion about it, and 2 hours later, we posted the first post. I know.
wow.
And then, I'd kind of wanted to launch this inner circle, which is kind of, just a group of people that want to hang out once a month, a smaller group,
Yeah.
not necessarily a topic per se, but just, you get to work with me or get coached or whatever. And the funny thing is at the time, that's as far as I saw it. But now, because we just had our first call, I've got all of this. I can't even tell you how much creativity has come through me in
That's
the
fun.
last couple of weeks. And I'm rebuilding so much content inside HDX. I'm going to do a series on the 4 arrows. And this inner circle
Mm.
group, I'm like, oh my God, we're doing all these things in the background. Can you guys be my guinea pigs? And these people are
Oh,
like,
that's
oh my God,
perfect.
yes, you get to try all that. Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome.
yeah. And the secret podcast as well, which is, really one of my little passion projects. It was all born from, I've got so many friends around the world, and I voice message them, and they all say the same thing. They're like, oh my God, I just wait for your voice message to come in. And I'm like, really? Because I've been
Wow.
like banging on for like 10 minutes, and doesn't it get
Yeah,
boring? And
yeah,
they're always like, no, it's so cool. And I'm like, well, I'd actually like to do that as a podcast. And,
yeah,
it's behind a paywall. Yes, it's not a lot
yeah.
of money, but it's behind a paywall. And I'm so surprised at how fast it's growing. I'm like, okay.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So creativity's been off the charts for me.
You and your Manny Gen thing.
Yeah.
I like even as a generator, and I have a lot of energy. I am observing you going, how the hell have you got the energy to do all of these things?
Chat GPT.
Ah! It's not chat. It's not energy. It's chat
I
GPT.
tell you, I get it in this spiritual world. And it's so funny because I am like, Chatty's my new bestie, mate. Like,
Same.
honestly. And I see the spiritual world is split down the middle. I've got half my friends that look at me like, you're the proper heretic. What the fuck are you doing? How dare you?
Yeah,
And then I've got the other half that are like, yeah, baby. And one of
yeah.
the things that I have discovered, and it's a conversation I was having with T, is that this has made me better at what I do because
Yeah.
I don't get bogged down in gathering all the information and all the things.
Yeah.
I can get all that gathered for me. So all
Yeah.
these incredible insights, core talent 43, gift of insight, gift of
Mm,
epiphany, I can put them all together in that now. I can put all this information that I've already built in there, get it to help me put it all together.
yeah.
Even Human Design Unhinged, like it's helping us build everything in the background so we can stay with, well, what do we want it to be like? What's its goals? How do we want it to speak? All of
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. So honestly, I feel like if you're a person who is not on it and you're like holding back because you think it's the devil, it's really not. It's
Yeah.
as Matthew James Bailey said, who honestly I think I have a bit of a long distance crush on this guy and his brain.
Yeah.
Like what he said, it's not good, bad, or indifferent. Like it's nothing. It's
Yeah.
whatever we make it. And
Yeah.
this is the business of the future, and we are building some incredible things with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, and to be honest, teaching people inside HDX and all my containers how to do the same.
Yeah. And it's funny you brought that up because parallel lives has been going on here. And we talked about how I have the 64 cosmic content codes off the back of the transits like a year ago. I think even on this podcast, you encouraged me to release that as a product.
Yep.
Well, a couple of months ago, I had this idea that I needed to build a GPT that integrated everything, that all of my work for the 64 gates, and made it instant to create content leveraging all of that work. And I released that, I want to say 10 days ago. I finally figured out I actually used ChatGPT to teach me how to create the GPT, because a couple of months ago when I first started, this is true, it made it complicated, but it's learning so
Yeah.
fast that now 2 months later, when because I lost my mum, I kind of got waylaid. But now when I went in and asked it the same question, like, I actually asked it, do I need to buy a course to learn how to create a GPT, or can you guide me through it? And in 5 hours, it was 100% done.
Yep.
And it is so powerful. The people that have it are like blown away.
Yep.
Blown away. And now I know how to create a GPT. So then I went into my frequency project, which is my higher ticket program, and just decided that I was going to bring all of that work into a GPT as well, so that my students, even though I want them to go slowly and to integrate everything, they also have this fast acting support system. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm so excited by it.
Yeah, same. And we're building exactly the same thing inside HDX, like all of the content, all of everything in my voice,
Yes.
all of my models, everything.
Yeah.
It's going to be
And you
a
have
game
to,
changer.
right? Like, we have to do this.
Yeah.
We have to.
You're
We have
stupid if
to.
you don't. You're stupid if you don't.
Yeah.
Because, this is the way it's moving, and
Yeah.
every one of us that's in there training ChatGPT that is heart-centered is,
Yeah.
we're
It's
doing
also
our
shaping
part.
the narrative
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
But I will call this out. I think it's very important when you're creating something that is part of your paid ecosystem that it is based on your original work.
I agree.
So that there is this step where it has to be speaking your language and it has to be referencing your unique, differentiated work for it to be saleable.
I absolutely agree. And I think that's the authenticity piece. I think,
Yeah.
and that's where I think ChatGPT's helped me get better at being me,
Yeah.
because I don't have to spend all the time in, like, I've literally last year before ChatGPT went through a whole year of retraining in all the arrows and going deep into everything. And I'm like, oh God. And by the time I got to the end of it, I was like, oh, I don't have the energy for this. But now I've created all of this information and study notes and, all of these ideas. And I've just put that in, and it's helped me speed up this
the process.
creation that I'm
Isn't
making.
it amazing?
And I think that's what, that is really the way forward. The other thing I'll say, it's really interesting because I've never really, for the life of me, I've tried to learn astrology, but I just just doesn't stick. I don't have energy
Yeah.
for it. Like
Yeah.
human design, I've always just had so
All
much
the
energy
energy.
for. But one of the things I've played around with is my astrology in ChatGPT. Now,
Mm,
when you put your astrology into ChatGPT, it's so fucking accurate. But
yeah.
when you put your design into it, it's really not. So
Yeah.
it's fascinating how you can see that the data, because obviously there's so
There's
much
so
more
much
data.
more
Yeah,
data.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's
So I
true.
think that's also one of the challenges in the human design field with
Yeah.
AI is that it just
Yeah.
doesn't have the information. And I
It doesn't
actually got
have
it
the,
to do a
yeah.
business review of
Mm-hmm.
our entire sector, and it went through like all the leading voices, and
Oh,
I
so good.
asked it like, tell me about each person, and it gave me their strengths, their gaps, and their bias.
Oh my
And
God.
there's so many of the leading teachers that have moved away from the original teachings, like they've actually
Yeah.
made so much stuff up. And for
Yeah.
me, I found that really fascinating, because I
Mm,
know for me is I want all of mine grounded in the original knowledge, like I
absolutely.
want it to
Yeah.
be correct. And I
Yeah.
thought that was fascinating as well. So that's also going to be muddying the human design world as well. So
Well,
I think, back
that's,
to your point, it's so
yeah.
important that we are actually putting our work, and we're building our
Yeah.
own work and putting it in there.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it's like,
It's very generic otherwise.
well, it's something, what Chatty actually said to me? There were certain brands that she's like, they're pop culture brands, and so
Mm,
they're not, they don't have stability. So there's
yeah.
all these other names that have great stability, they have real legs, they have real like foundations in the work, but these
Yeah.
other pop brands, they don't. And as they've evolved, they've just cut a corner here or improvised there or added a bit of what they think over here, and it's
Yeah.
really diluted the original stuff.
Yeah. The efficacy. Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like that is also really fascinating. But anyway, I feel like
Yeah. Like
I've got off
honestly,
track,
we've
but
both gone off on a tangent, but I think it's super timely because I do feel like just in the last even 6 weeks, there's been a shift.
yeah,
Like if you're not adopting this, if you're not thinking about how you can integrate it into your business, then you're going to be behind.
yeah,
We're at that moment right
yeah.
now.
I
And
totally agree.
it's actually easy. Like
Yes,
because it can be your teacher in terms of how do I use this more effectively in my business.
exactly.
You don't need to go outside of the system itself.
No, which is just brilliant. Like the conversations I've had with ChatGPT, like
Same.
teach me this, show me that, this is my outcome, be a world-class expert in blah, blah, blah. Um, yeah, it's incredibly powerful. And yeah, I'm
Yeah.
super excited to be releasing our own
Yeah.
into HDX, which will be super
Yes.
cool.
It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, I'm super excited too. And I feel like this is all this sacral energy. And I'm hearing it from you as well. There's this element of doing the do of getting it ready. But
Mm,
like I know myself, like I haven't added it to my sales pages, the fact that you now get all this or the emails, like there's this making it more tangible and commercial, which is sounds like where you're a bit at with it as well.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's exciting times.
Yes. So that's kind of what's been going on in April. I think we started off in Mercury Retrograde, lots of planetary difficulty in the very early stage of the month. And then we moved into these, we went through the heart center. We had gate 21, gate 51. So they were earlier in the month, lined up with the Mercury, bit more challenging energy. And then we've moved now into sacral energy. We had the 42, the 3, the 27. Uh, we're currently in gate 24 as we record this. And then that's in the Ajna, so it's a little bit of a different energy, recalibration. I've actually felt this not in a great way. I feel like I've been in this huge, expansive mode, and now it is time to kind of pause. And I know that we're both heading to the Australian Human Design Conference this weekend. So for me, at least, it's been like, okay, that needs to be where my energy goes, rather than more creating, more creating. And then we come into May, where we move into the quarter of civilization. So, as I said earlier, this is moving us from uh, kind of the doing and the creating and the thinking now we're going to manifest it. Now we're going to make manifest. And so as we look forward in this quarter of the quarter of civilization, 11 out of the 16 gates in the next 16 weeks are throat-centered gates.
Yeah, wow.
So this is a really powerful time for business and for communication. It's where ideas become form.
I love it. And it's so funny. Like T and I have been talking about this, again, we've been doing a lot of building in the background. And then over the last few days, we're just like, holy shit, May's going to be our biggest month. I just know it. I just know it.
Yeah.
And it all of a sudden, like it's only the 1st of May and I already feel like we're out of the gates, like
Wow.
we're away, things are happening. Yeah, exciting times. And I do feel like, talking to all my communities or my groups, that's how people are feeling. They've kind of felt like they're in a bit of a holding pattern. And it's not that they're not doing anything, that they've been, as I say, like chopping the wood, carrying the water, doing the things they need to do. But it does feel like May's going to be the kicking off of a few months of really stuff actually coming into the 3D. Yeah.
We always like to actually see the tangibility of our creations, don't we?
Exactly.
So as we head into this month, just to touch in on the major planets. So Jupiter is moving into gate 12 in about a week's time. So that, this one is, I always think of it as abundance and like the energy of prosperity. And even though gate 12 is the gate of caution, I think that's a really lovely energy to be sitting in Jupiter around, more about how am I being discerning, that I'm not just making manifest all the things, but actually exercising some caution. Like, do I really want this? Is this thing that I'm creating in alignment with where my business is going, for instance?
Yeah, I love that. It comes up when you say that. I think it's also because it makes me think of what I'm actually presenting at the Human Design Conference. It's this difference between us, going, okay, this is what I think I should create, as opposed to actually being in tune with our authenticity and letting that guide us to what we create. And the 12, again, I always feel like that the moodiness is important. Like, am I actually in the mood for this? Because in business, how often do people go, hey, I'm not in the mood for it? They go, no, you're in business. You got to fucking pull your finger out. You got to be in the mood.
Yeah.
So, and that's, I think that's one of the biggest lessons, next level lessons I've had this year is, oh my God, I can really just take my hands off the wheel. I can just do less. I can be quiet more. I can receive so much more easily. Like, it's been such a big lesson. So I feel like that's also for the 12 for me, is like, you are allowed to be in the mood or not.
Yeah, you're allowed to take some space. And in fact, it's in those pauses that you prepare for momentum.
Yeah. And it's
otherwise you burn out.
Exactly. Also, am I in the mood for this in my business? Do I want my business to feel like this or not?
Yeah.
And being honest with yourself.
Yeah. And I think it's so important that we're checking in on that really regularly.
Yeah. Because I feel like, I know for me as a manifesting generator, and it's my natural energy, there are times where I'm like, fuck, like I'm doing different things or going in different directions, like, is it going to piss people off? Like, the key to trust is consistency. But one of the things that I've really realized, practically, my consistency comes from my authenticity. So it doesn't matter how many different directions I go in, because I'm an MG, that's aligned for me. So it's almost like people, either they don't notice at all because they're my people, or they're just not my people. And I think that's also, I'm watching that in my community right now, where people are really starting to double down on trusting themselves and actually stepping more into their authenticity.
Beautiful. I love that. Yeah, it's interesting watching you in action and comparing or contrasting a manifesting generator versus a generator. Like, I'm much less going in all these different directions and more around the mastery. Like, how do I make this even better? What can I do now to make it even better?
And I think that's also like the 5-1, because I actually hear those words come out of T's mouth almost every day, to the point that she's gone, okay, I need to stop this shit. In fact,
Yeah.
I think ChatGPT kicked her in the ass not long ago, because it was like, you're already 40% above industry standard. You're already doing this. You're already doing that. Enough already. So,
Oh,
yeah, it
that's
might just be
gold.
a 5-1 thing.
Could be that as well. Just pushing and pushing and pushing towards better, better,
Excellence,
better.
excellence,
I
excellence.
just enjoy that. So anyway.
Yeah, I do too. It's definitely a 5 trait, but I
Yeah.
reckon you guys go just that step further.
Yeah, yeah. It's actually one of the things I enjoy most in business is, yes, I love creating, but I really love making what I've already done even better. Like that really
Yeah.
lights me up.
Are you looking to build a successful human design or astrology business? Do you wish that you had your own chart tool on your website so you don't have to send people somewhere else to get it? BodyGraph.com provides all the resources you need to turn this vision into a reality. We use this incredible software in our business to provide charts and custom reading reports at the click of a button, generate leads, and bring in lots of passive revenue. BodyGraph.com has already helped coaches and entrepreneurs generate over $2.5 million in revenue. If you're ready to take your business seriously, start with a free trial and use the code Human Design Podcast to get 30% off for 6 months. Here's what you can do with BodyGraph.com. Embed stunning charts directly into your website, build personalized lead magnets to grow your email list, create and sell detailed reading reports, and even use their free website builder to get started fast. BodyGraph.com is the ultimate all-in-one platform for building your human design or astrology business. If you're ready to join the community of successful entrepreneurs, visit bodygraph.com and start building your dream business today. Follow the link in the show notes and use the code Human Design Podcast to get 30% off for 6 months.
So that is Jupiter. Saturn is moving into the 25. I almost feel like they don't go together all that well, but because, Saturn is the wake up call kind of vibe. The like, if we're going to get a cosmic slap, it's more going to come through the Saturn. But that has such a nourishing energy to it. So maybe it's about thinking about nourishing self.
Yeah, maybe. You did say the 25, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I reckon it's interesting you say that, because I feel like Saturn's a wake-up call and the 25 is like the result of a wake-up call. Like the 51 wakes you up, the
Yeah.
25, once you're awake, you can receive the love of the spirit, So I feel like
Yeah.
maybe that's a similar dynamic. Like Saturn's kicking you in the ass to wake you up, and the 25 is there to go, okay, like go higher, go higher, go higher. Don't get stuck in the weeds.
Yeah, I love that. It's a cool way of looking at it. And then the nodes, they haven't moved. And we've had this dynamic with the South Node in the 6 and the North Node in the 36. So, we do have a background energy around, I guess, friction or chaos, but pushing us towards the higher frequencies. That narrative, I don't know that we're feeling that so much as we are the sun, but it is going on in the background. So I guess there's some caution going on there as well.
I think, I always think that's interesting. So I've got the 36 and the 6. And I feel like these are two gates that, like in the lower frequencies, oh, Jesus, they're uncomfortable, like that 6 conflict, because it wants to break through for connection. And I feel like we're seeing that everywhere. And then the 36, the gate of crisis, but it's really about, that emotional empathy and maturity and, being able to understand and walk in other people's shoes. And I do love that, although the shadow of these two, if this is the path we're walking at the moment, it's a minefield.
Yeah.
But if you just go from the heart, really it's about connection and, humanity,
Empathy,
and
understanding.
exactly.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so I guess it's always important to know that your individual chart is going to have so much influence no matter where the transits are, the interplay.
Yeah.
And so, you might be an example of, I'm just on fire, everything's amazing, May's going to be like the best month ever, and then somebody else who has a very different energy is more feeling some of this nodal heaviness, and that's okay. We're all very unique.
Exactly, and it's that solar plexus thing. That's something I'm going to talk so much more about soon, because whether you're defined or undefined, it defines you. Do you know what I mean? And we're going
Oh, yeah.
towards this new paradigm where we're shifting from the thinking mind to the feeling body, and it's a massive player. So yeah, I agree. I think for someone like me who has a defined solar plexus and actually has those two gates defined, I'm not picking up on anyone else's stuff, so
Yeah.
these two
Yeah.
potentially uncomfortable gates aren't uncomfortable for me because it's my energy.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
yes, it could be really freaking uncomfortable for other people out there.
Yeah. I had the 6, not the 36, and I'm undefined in the solar plexus, and I know I avoid emotions. It's like it's harder. I think as a non-emotional, you are in this no confrontation, get me out of it, people please type energy. So if that's you as well listening, then that could be at play here as well.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's move into the sun and all the fun of the throat-centered gates that are coming up. So actually, the very first gate is in the G center. It's the gate 2, but it does set the tone. Like gate 2 is such a beautiful, I think it's the gate of the receptive, but I always think of it as the gate of manifestation, because it is the one where when you're very clear and intentional about where you're moving, that you can make anything happen. And I've had clients with this gate 2 who are just the best manifestors ever. So regardless of this not being in the throat center, I feel like it's right on theme for where we're heading with all these throat center gates as well. Respond, anything?
Yeah, I love it. The 214 is a magical channel. It's all about calling in resources for everybody, not just the individual that has it. So yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I love it.
I love that channel because it's my only one.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, it's definitely one of the channels that you're like, yeah, baby, if you've got it, you're pretty fucking happy about it.
I definitely am. And also, it's the only thing that makes me not a reflector really is that I have that channel. Undefined. Sorry, I mean it's on the design side, not the personality side. But still, anyway, so we have the 2 coming up first. So when we're together on the weekend, we'll be moving into that gate. And actually, I'm going to be, when I'm doing my speaker gig at the conference, I will be using that energy and educating on how to work with that gate from a marketing perspective. So that's something fun to look forward to.
So cool.
Yes. Then we move from the 10th-ish to the 14th. We're going to be in gate 23, which is, it's originality comes through with this one. I always think of it as original insights. It is a gate of contribution, but it does definitely play on the throat center towards more of the thinking side of creativity than just the projecting out. We move from there into gate 8. And actually, I talked around the wrong way then. I was saying that was the 23 was contribution, but it's not.
I was going to say, I was like, but
no,
yeah.
that's not right.
I think you just took in, amplified, and reflected back my dyslexia.
I did good. I did do good, didn't I?
Yeah.
No, that's not actually right.
Simplicity.
No, let's circle back. Yeah. Let's circle back. So assimilation is the theme of the 23. So the insightful piece, that was correct. And really tuning into your originality. It's really relevant given the conversation we were just having about AI as well, like trusting in your originality and your own insights in how you show up and share with the world and be of service. Then we move into gate 8, which is the gate of contribution. I always think of this one as quite a powerful gate, like quite a powerful energy. There's a lot of self-trust in this gate. How do you navigate gate 8, Anne?
So I think gate 8 for me, it's one of the leadership gates, and it is the reluctant leader. So for me, I always think of it, in the Gene Keys, it's, gift is style. I think the shadow is mediocrity. And it's this magnetic leader, like when I am me and I don't want anyone to follow me, you can all fuck off. I just want to be me in my own style.
Yeah.
and contribute the way I'm designed to contribute, then they become incredibly magnetic and people will follow them to the ends of the earth. But they don't,
Yeah.
it's like they can be the real reluctant leader.
Yeah, I see that as well. I think in a lot of instances in human design, when these leadership gates show up, there is a lot of reluctance around it as well. I think the 31 has that also. It's
Yeah, I
like
think the thing
being
with
called forward.
and maybe, but I think one of the other things with the 31 is like, because the 31/7 is, I always remember it's like this diplomatic energy, and that it's
Mm,
actually the channel of the alpha. So it can actually run off and lead where it thinks everyone
yeah,
should go,
more
but then no one's
dominantly.
going to follow because they have to listen first.
Yeah,
Um, and then they become a powerful leader. But yeah, I feel like the 8
the
is the
eight's
one that I
different.
often hear people say, "Oh no, I don't want to lead," but people just, people just
People will follow
follow.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. More of a gentle leadership, but still very powerful.
Yeah, it's powerful also because I feel like these are the people who, like, they do stand out from the crowd. They're
Mm,
doing things differently. They walk to their
yeah,
own beat, but they're not doing it to get attention. They're doing it
yeah.
because it's just who they are.
And I know I'm going to completely generalize here, but I feel like because you need to have a defined throat to be a manifester or a manifesting generator, there are some of these gates are quite common amongst manifestors and manifesting generators, I would say as well. So when I
Yeah,
think about people I know that have this gate, they typically are one of those
yeah.
types.
Well, I suppose it's also because it's just consistent for them. So, our
Yeah,
definition and the things that are switched on is how other people see us.
yeah,
So
yeah,
if it's there all the time, you're right. Like
yeah,
anything that's activated constantly is how we experience ourselves and the other.
yeah.
So
And yeah, for
makes
sure.
sense.
Awesome. Then, so the gate is connected to the G center, which isn't surprising with some of the conversations we've just had. And then the next two gates we go through towards the end of the month are the 20 and the 16, which are quite a different energy. They're connected to the spleen. Is that correct? Yes.
Yeah, the 16 goes to the 48 and the 20
Yeah,
actually goes to,
to the
well, goes to,
34. Well, it
it
goes to
goes to
many
3.
places.
Exactly. It goes to the G center, the sacral, or the spleen.
Yeah, and if you have the 2034, which is a very key channel in determining the type of money gen you are, then again, like keeps coming up through these different types as being very dominant, these energies through the May placements. But yeah, so gate 20, very much about being present, being in the now. And I think that's going to be true of this period as we're navigating all these throat centered gates, to be in it and be present to it, not in your mind all the time, coming from that projecting forward and making things happen perspective. It's a very potent energy. So, from a communication perspective, it's time to have big conversations, uh, to really listen as well in that, make it two-way. And then at the end of the month, I don't know, I just love this gate 16. I love it. I don't have it.
I
It's
love
because of
it
the
too.
enthusiasm, the skills. It's like people that have it tend to light me up.
Oh, well, I'm going to take that as a compliment. Thank you, because
Ah,
I
there
love
you
it.
go. Yeah.
It's my, in my gene keys, it's my purpose. So it's my design earth.
Oh,
I love the
wow.
16, and
Same.
it is such a, like, I am that enthusiastic person.
You
Like, I'm
are.
so
Yeah.
fucking enthusiastic about the
Yeah.
simple things and
Yeah.
that mastery piece. Like, yeah, I feel like it's such a fun gate. I've got so many heavy gates. I feel like it's such a
Yeah.
fun gate. I love it.
I love it too. And I feel like I really see it in people that have this gate. I feel that infectious nature that they have.
Yeah.
But yeah, for everybody listening, you're going to feel that way at the very end of May. You might feel more enthusiasm and be more capable when it comes to the skills you're developing. So that's a really beautiful way to be tuning into this wisdom that we share, knowing that you have this present in your chart at the end of the month. So it's a great time to tackle new things.
I love it. And I think the 16, like the big thing with the 16 as well, like this shadow, I think it's the shadow of indifference. So
Mm,
don't let yourself hide away and be indifferent to things. Like, it's a time to actually get out and, like, give it a shot,
yeah.
and trust the path and keep showing up for yourself, because that's also, I think, one of the big lessons of the 16 is like, keep showing up for yourself. If you've got energy for something, if you're invited to do something, if it gives you surprise and delight, or your creative urge is taking you there, don't quit. Just keep going. Just keep going, because there's such a massive reward the other side of that.
Well, as you always say, the universe leaves clues, so keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
One of your best.
Thanks.
Amazing. So that is May. As I said, the highlight is that it is a very throat-centered month. Only the G center showing up at the beginning with the 2, and then it's just throat center after throat center. So great time for communication and also making manifest of the things you've been setting as goals or preparing for. And then with Mercury, so of course we had Mercury retrograde in April. So what always happens is then the Mercury goes backwards and then comes forwards again. And during this time, the sun is actually ahead of the Mercury gates. So what we experience in Mercury, we've already experienced energetically in the sun placement. This is only going to happen in May, and then because Mercury moves much more quickly, it will overtake again and start to lead the sun transit. So for the month of May, what you're going to feel from a Mercury perspective is following where we've already been with the sun transits. So we start at the beginning of May in the 51, which we had in the sun transit about 3 weeks ago, and then every single gate in the same order that we've already spoken to will come through Mercury. So it's following on. We're going to go through the 42, the 3, the 27, and the 24, which are the most recent gates that we've had in the sun transit. And then we'll move into the May gates and run right through until the 16, at which point it catches up. So this is a time when you are going to feel the energy bigger first, and then there's a tail. Versus when I know, which happens to Emma all the time, she starts to feel the energy of the transit, I think, with Mercury coming through before it, which is most of the time. Like most of the time, Mercury has the energy of the sun before it, but except for when we're on the back of a retrograde.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. And I often feel like I feel things before they're happening.
Yeah.
I hope my dog Alice is in the background. She's scratching at my favourite chair, trying to get comfortable.
Oh,
Shush!
Alice.
Alice, shush. We're recording here. Thank you.
Is she being naughty?
Well, she rolled in death this morning, so she stinks. And I was feeling a bit, I don't know what, after my lunch today, and she sat next to me and I was like,
oh.
She's on my favourite chair. Anyway.
She's probably just picking up on you're not feeling 100% and wants to be near you.
Yeah,
bless her. So beautiful.
But yeah, do you know what I love about the way the sun and Mercury work together is it's like the sun, you have an experience of it or you feel it or you're going through it, and then Mercury is like either coming along just behind or like the communication piece. Like, okay, I've had an experience and now I need to talk about it,
Yeah, and that's more so what's going to be happening at the moment is you're talking about it after it versus this anticipatory, you know the word I'm trying to say?
Anticipatory.
That one. Feeling of, oh, that energy is not here, but why am I already feeling this energy? And it's generally because it's in Mercury.
Yeah, I love it. So good.
So that's it. That's the wrap on May. And I think it's going to be a fabulous month.
Yeah, I really think it's going to be a fabulous month. I think the rest of the year is going to be pretty exciting. I know for me,
I would like it to be.
Yeah, I think it is. I think things for those of us, it's that year. Like listening, and I haven't listened to Lee Harris or Pam Gregory's overview of May yet. I might even do that this afternoon. But I feel like so many people are talking about 2025 is the like shit or get off the pot year. Like for those of us that are already on the train, I feel like it's going to be a really big, expansive, powerful year, like this, especially the second half.
Yeah.
But I think for those that it's not, and because it's a 9 year, there's a lot of endings. There's so many people who are losing parents and partners, and
I'm one of them.
Yeah, like it's just been, there's been a lot of really sad endings,
Yeah.
So I feel like that's kind of one of the really challenging themes of this year. But I do think there's always also going to be big breakthroughs this year.
Yeah. I'll tell you what's fun about this year. This will make you laugh. Uh, we're coming up to 7 years since you did my first human design reading in a few months. Isn't
Wow.
that crazy?
Oh
And
my God.
I've always got this number in my head because was it Ra who said you need to be
7
experimenting for
years.
seven
Yeah.
years?
It takes
I'm
7
like,
years to decondition, he said. And I
yeah, so
was
I feel
always
like
like,
I've
yeah,
got,
fuck that. I'm going to do it quicker than that.
yeah, exactly. I don't know. I feel like it's a milestone in my experiment and
Yeah.
experience of human design is coming up later this year. How fun is that?
Well, that's pretty epic. It's so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so interesting, isn't it, where human design is going? I feel like it's going to be some pretty exciting times coming
yeah.
up.
It's really like crossing over into mainstream, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. We've got this whole mission of taking it mainstream, and I feel like, I don't know, it's not just my mission. I know it's my team's mission, but I feel like it's bigger than, like, I'm just one of the many. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
we're
yeah. There's a
all
lot of
in this
people making
place
it.
of making
Yeah,
it mainstream,
yeah.
which is super exciting.
Yeah, it's funny you said that because I'm staying with a friend at the moment, and she's like, "Oh, now another one of my friends who I know through work who's in the UK is coaching on human design." She's like,
Yeah,
I'm like, "Yeah, it's a thing."
it's a thing.
Yeah.
It's absolutely a thing. And you know what
Oh,
I think's interesting is I'd be really interested to see where it is in a couple of years, because I think we will move away from like it being human design per se, as opposed to human design will be integrated into so many things in so many ways. Like
yeah.
it will, um, I don't know, deviate, I reckon. Like it'll be in
Mm.
education, it'll be in all sorts of things. So I'm excited to
I
see
mean,
how it
there's a lot
evolves.
of work already that is quite
Yeah.
different out there, isn't there? Like the
Mm-hmm.
BG5 body of work and the ones that are more about the overlap of family dynamics. The what's that called again? The
The
Penta.
pentas, yeah, pentas, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just going to get more and more sophisticated and deeper, I think.
Yeah. Exciting
Yeah,
times.
awesome. All right. Well,
Cool.
thanks again for a wonderful chat.
Mm. And thank you so much for being here, my dear friend. I will see you on Saturday, if not tomorrow. Um, and thank you, everyone, for being here. I trust you got what you needed from today's episode, and I so look forward to having you on the next one. Bye for now.
Bye for now.